Hello, everybody. It's been a little bit of a spell, but not too much. So I did that little sing-song on Harry Belafonte's Rovin. And this little piece is entitled Don't Waste My Time. And this is going to be a call out to all people who might recommend me as someone to connect with a disability organization or something. Um, don't do that unless that disability organization has a legitimate paid opportunity to offer me. I am and ever shall be a struggling artist. And while I'll admit, like, meetings and advocacy and those kinds of things are a bit out of my depth, um, I will do them, but there needs to be some financial recompense. And I'm particularly frustrated because I had this thing where somebody was in town from a new organization, and they said they've received no pushback so far. Everything's been positive. Well, you're gonna get some pushback from me because I feel like um, you know I was just sort of roped in as part of the hustle and kind of forced to listen to what, while there were some good points about reforming the film industry, much needed, I'm not completely trying to bury them. It was presented to me in a jargonistic fashion, like only 27% of people are identifying as disabled, and that's too low. Well, maybe, and yes, I know that, you know, there can be invisible disabilities that are just as bad or worse than visible ones. But I refer this like all the time. Like when that cat from the bus stop theater man was talking about, you know, oh, oh, I have a clubbed foot and I can't wear Shakespearean breeches, you know. And meanwhile, here I am, a guy with cerebral palsy, who you know, I can walk somewhat unsupported around my house and indoors and stuff like that. But without holding on to anything, without holding on, I can't stand. And you, pal, you can't wear fucking pantaloons. You know what I mean? So like, that's not really the same thing, right? So I think like when we talk about disability, I think just to be sensible. Severity has to be at least considered. Like, how much does this impact one's daily life? Like, not being able to stand unsupported versus not being able to wear pantaloons. That's not comparable. Like, I'm sorry. And yeah, if somebody were to say, "Oh, well, I have environmental illnesses and I'm allergic to everything, and I can't be indoors or something," yes, that is very extreme. So I'm not an ogre about this. I'm not unreasonable. I'm not unfair. But so like the film fest recommended these folks contact me, and we'd been a little bit back and forth, and I'd missed a potential meeting while they were in town, so we did it by Zoom, and thank God, because like I had to pee, and that's another thing for those who don't know, and many of you do, because I mentioned everything. I pee like on average 22 times a day, and that's 22 times in 16 hours or so. When I'm sleeping, it's all right, and woe betide me if I don't get them in time. So that means on average, like I can be peeing sometimes every half hour, or even a little more frequent than that. And if I'm not like able to get them to pee in time, like I don't have accidents, but the muscles become extra sore and dysfunctional, and I'm in a lot more pain. And one symptom that's been happening a bunch the last couple of years is sometimes the peas will cut off. They'll finish before they're finished. So instead of running every 20 minutes or half an hour, I'm running like every 10 minutes, and I'm super uncomfortable and pained. And I cut the meeting off actually because I had to pee and it was going absolutely nowhere. Uh, they had they had given me a chance to like ask some questions at the end of a very long spiel again I think there were some good points, but like I don't know why I was um, I was particularly targeted. I do this film on disability and romance. That doesn't mean that I'm like a good fit for every disability organization, right? And um, like the person I was talking to made it very clear that um, oh, I, we don't we don't really work with individuals. We're only working with organizations. And in fact, even the Atlantic Film Festival, in and of itself, is a little bit too small for the scope of what we're trying to accomplish with reforming the whole film industry. Which again, like, kudos, you know. But like, if you're not working with individuals, like, why are you even talking to me? What is the point? Like, again, struggling. Like, I live on assistance, okay? Like, um, thanks to Jagmeet saying, on assistance, I'm doing better than I ever have. So that can't be discounted. But at the same time, it's not a regular living wage. And this, I guess, director of this organization, this disability screen on screen or screen officer, whatever they're called, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Now, like, they're getting paid while they're getting paid to do their spiel, and I've got to sit there and listen to this and go, okay, let me try to see how this fits into my life. Oh my God, wait, it doesn't, and we just spent like 45 minutes, and just like the pushiness of it was really upsetting to me. Like, oh, like, make sure to subscribe to our socials and follow us, and like they gave me this like hour-long meeting of their introduction with their like board members on like a multi-person Zoom call. And I'm like, my goodness, like, I'm not soliciting you in this way, right? I'm not saying here, well, you need to check, you need to watch my theater show or my film or my stand-up or um, my my poetry or listen to my podcast. You know, like, I'm not. Um, I didn't say this to you. Like, why are you asking this for me? Why, like, it's not fair. Look, so if you ever wind up watching this and listen to me, I'm not happy with our meeting. I felt it was exploitative and wasteful of my time. I didn't get to go out for my coffee. That P and Jive really does impact that, and that our meeting was during the time when I'm cleared to go and do that, and like the shop closes down, so like I can't, I missed my daily outing because I I spent this time talking to you in a way that was very clear, I think, even to you, that there's nothing really for us to do together. So in lieu of like wasting my time, ruining my day in terms of not allowing me to get out for my one daily, urinary tract prisoner fucking outing, I would like to make what you make in an hour for that time. That's what I want. I want your hourly wage for the conversation that we had, because it wasn't really anything that was going to be beneficial to me, only served your own interests, like, in every way. Subscribe to my newsletter, follow our socials. Why? Why should I? I'm not in the film industry other than the film that I have, you know. And I'm sorry if this is harsh, but I feel that you were not transparent with me, and you were just like attacking me with a bunch of jargon that, like, if I actually sat there and had the time to um, like go for you point by point, I could say, well, like, no, that's not actually the case. And when you say things like, oh yeah, like everybody in their life will have a disability because, like, they have some injury or something like that. Yeah, yes, okay, right. But like, if you break your leg for 6 months, right? During that 6 months time, you are maybe um, more disabled than somebody who's used to being disabled because, like, you're not used to it and stuff like that. But if you aren't able to have a full recovery, then that's like 6 months of your life, right? Whereas somebody who is born with a condition or develops one that is permanent, that is not the same thing. So when you say, oh, everybody in their life will have a disability, that undermines the legitimacy of serious, long term, lifelong disability. So, again, I want what you make in an hour. for this time that prevented me from getting out and enjoying my day and wasting my time. Just don't do this to people. We don't work with individuals, then don't waste my time. And no, I'm not going to follow your socials. And I'm not going to subscribe to your newsletter unless you show me and make it very clear that there's a specific role for me to have in your organization, that there is payment for me to have, then I will do business with you. And I'm sorry to put it this blunt, but you said there's no pushback so far, right? There's pushback from me. It wasn't cool. It rubbed me the wrong way, left a very bad taste in my mouth, and yeah, it was in terrible taste. Why? Why did you do this? Why? Pay me your hourly wage. Thank you.